Welcome to the National Federation of the Blind's virtual town meeting, part 1 tonight.
Hello and welcome everyone to the National Federation of the Blind of Indiana Town Hall meeting. I'm Kelly Vaughn. I'm with WHMB TV 40 here in Indianapolis, and I'll be opening up today's program. So welcome again to everyone. You know, the National Federation of the Blind of Indiana, we're so excited today to announce that our national representative this year is Miss Everly Hairston. Everly is a fascinating woman with a powerful story. Her tenacious spirit and determination embody the Federation philosophy and have been invaluable tools in her quest to overcome the obstacles erected by social injustice. And we're going to be talking to her very shortly. But before we get to her, I'd like to, at this time, bring in some of the biggest cheerleaders and supporters of NFB Indiana. Your hosts for today, Lee Martin and Florence Myers.
We want to welcome you to the National Federation of the Blind Newsline Indiana show. And I'm your host, Lee Martin, and our co-host, Florence Myers. Once again, to our listening and viewing audience, we have a fantastic show for you today, and we trust that you pay great attention as we here in the National Federation of the Blind of Indiana are doing our annual convention. And today is the opening programming of the convention with our town hall meeting. Our town hall meeting today, we have our national rep, and she is Miss Everly Hairston. She is a strong advocate with the National Federation of the Blind. She is a woman of great culture, great respect. She is an icon and a legend in the history of the National Federation of the Blind, as well as in her community. And you'll learn a lot about her activism and her activities with the civil rights movement. She is very profound. She is a motivator. She is a great inspiration. And I just can't come up with enough accolades for her. She's a lady of many hats, and we've graced a lot of people on this show with the National Federation of the Blind and other entities. But I can honestly say, and I'm certain that Florence can say the same thing, we have a magnificent guest today that will leave you with inspiration. So, welcome to the show, Ms. Hairston.
Thank you. Gee, I hope I can live up to all of those accolades that I've been given. Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, I just hope that we can live up to the standard that you have laid forth for us as we come about through the National Federation of the Blind, and not only through the National Federation of the Blind, but as human beings and as citizens of the world. That we can live up to the pathways that you have laid down through your lifetime and your efforts. And just want to say thank you. Florence?
Yes, Ms. Everly Hairston. Now, this is my first opportunity that I've had to converse with you. I have, however, had an opportunity to listen to the podcast and in reading your book, Blind Ambition. I've learned a lot about you, and you are a phenomenal woman.
Well, gee.
Ms. Hairston, again, as Lee Martin has just said, I want to ditto what he said. Welcome to our show. It is an honor to have you as our special guest today. And Ms. Hairston.
It's my pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Oh, it's an honor. Ms. Hairston, in reading your book, I have had an opportunity to learn a lot of things about you. such as your journey, your challenges. And one of the things that you and I have in common is I too have retinitis pigmentosa.
Okay.
And like you, I tried to hide it from so many people over the years. And Ms. Harrison, what actually motivated you into writing that book? I know you have a lot to cover this afternoon, but that's a phenomenal book from a phenomenal woman.
What inspired me to write the book was I wanted to tell my story. The way I grew up on a plantation in North Carolina, my parents and grandparents were sharecroppers, as you read in the book. And to me, it was similar to living as slaves, because my parents and grandparents only made 30 cents out of $1 during harvest time. And it was a lot of work, extremely hard work. And then having the opportunity to meet Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and march with him, going through North Carolina Central University with retinitis pigmentosa and not being able to share my story or what was going on with me with my instructors, the professors, even my parents and other relatives. When I would say something, this is so unfortunate, my mother was ashamed. And I just want to quickly share a story that I think everyone should hear. When I was going to accompany my mother to a bank, and she was only a 7th grade student. She came out in order to do farming in the 7th grade. And so many things she could not handle or do. She relied on her children, and especially me. And so I was accompanying her to the bank, and she, before getting out of the car, she had said to me, "Everly, would you please leave your cane in the car?" That day was one of the days that I knew I had to tell my story.
Okay.
Well, there's so much to your reality. And I tell you, you stopped the show in one of our national conventions after Dr. Mark Maurer got through speaking. And I want everyone to know that you can go capture that or read that in our flagship publication, the Braille Monitor. And that was the Braille Monitor from March 2001 edition.
Wow.
Please go check that out, and we will run that information across the screen, as well as other information regarding the National Federation of the Blind. And we're going to take us a short pause, and we're going to come back with our guest. As you can hear, that she is just going to give you a lot of insight and a lot of inspiration. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Enjoy the commercials. See you shortly.
NFB Newsline celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month.
Mi nombre es Enrique. Quiero hablarles de NFB Newsline. NFB Newsline es un servicio para gente no vidente o de poca visión que les permite leer periódicos y revistas. Para más información, llamen al 855-693-6476 o métanse en la página de web en nfbnewsline-in.org. NFB Newsline is a service for the print impaired to read newspapers and magazines. You can subscribe or get more information by calling 855-963-6476 or going to the webpage at nfbnewsline-in.org.
It's free.
Welcome back to this segment of the National Federation of the Blind Newsline Indiana, their town hall meeting with our national rep, Everly Hairston. And Lee, I think we've got some questions today, right?
Yes, we do. And I'm sure we got some answers. So in this segment, we have questions from our affiliate members. These are dedicated members throughout the state of the Indiana for the National Federation of the Blind. And our first question for our town hall meeting is from Mr. Michael Loft.
Okay, Everly, I really enjoyed your book, Blind Ambition.
Thank you.
I was really moved by the great lengths that you went to try to cover up for your sight loss. And you use some amazing ingenuity, as many people have. But I'm curious what you would say to someone now, or what any of us would say to someone that we know going through a similar situation, to say, hey, it's okay. Your life is not over. And let's talk about how to give you the tools that you need to make it, whether it be traveling, cooking, pursuing your careers and hobbies. So what would we say to someone to kind of help them get through that and adjust and accept?
I would say when you are ashamed and you're trying to hide the fact of your inability to see, you're only hurting yourself. Talk about it, get blindness skills, share with others, get involved in the National Federation of the Blind, because through the Federation, you will learn that the National Federation of the Blind knows that blindness is not the characteristic that defines you or your future. Every day we raise the expectations of blind people because low expectations create obstacles between blind people and our dreams. Learning that, you will learn that blindness is not what holds you back. We thought that when we were hiding it, but it's not the truth.
Agreed. Thank you very much.
What an answer.
Good afternoon, Abby. Abby, I understand you have a question also for our national rep.
I do. Thank you, Florence. My question is, what are the key factors which drive your commitment to the organization?
The key factors that drive me to my commitment in the Federation of the Blind are our 4 pillars of the organization: membership, education, rehabilitation, and employment. I have advanced in all of those areas as a result of being a member and a committed member for 36 years in the National Federation of the Blind. I was educated at the Louisiana Center for the Blind through the Federation of the Blind. Rehabilitation took place, and not just for me, but an opportunity to share with others when I became a chapter president back in 1990. And so sharing with others, you want to keep that commitment because you're providing a service. Employment, because of my commitment to the Federation of the Blind and my involvement, I was able to advance and move up the ladder with the National Organization of Health and Human Services in New Jersey. So I have many advantages that have been awarded me as a result of my commitment to the National Federation of the Blind.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you, Abby, for the question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We trust that you are enjoying the town hall meeting with the National Federation of the Blind of Indiana. And our next member with the question is Mr. Tyler Sherry. Tyler, go ahead and ask your question, please.
What accomplishments as a blind person have you accomplished over the years?
Wow. Thank you for that question, and it's really loaded. I am so blessed and so fortunate because I've been given so many opportunities. But I would say one of the most exciting accomplishments for me would be becoming a member of the National Board of Directors of the National Federation of the Blind. But then I go back to serving as president of the National Federation of the Blind of California. Not only that, but I served as first vice president. I served as first vice president of the National Federation of the Blind of New Jersey. I served on the National Scholarship Committee for a total of 23 years. So I met so many students and were able to mentor them. And I see them now in many careers, and they are now becoming the leaders of the National Federation of the Blind. I also started a chapter in New Jersey, the Garden State chapter. It was the largest chapter in the state of New Jersey at the time. And that was back in 1990 that I started that chapter just after graduating from the Louisiana Center for the Blind. I've accomplished so much. One of the things that is important that we must learn is I am filled with hope, energy, and love by participating in the National Federation of the Blind. My contributions make a difference to me and to others. It's the service that I provide, which means that that's what's important. And I just want to share quickly. There's a quote that I use often, and it goes like this. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service is joy. Thank you for that question.
I like that.
That was so great. I tell you, I guess I'm just grinning all on the screen here.
Now that was a good segment, and we're going to take a break now and stay tuned for the next segment of the National Federation of the Blind Newsline, Indiana.
If you or someone you know is visually impaired or print challenged, the National Federation of the Blind has a resource you need.
Wow, I scored a touchdown when I found sports on NFB Newsline.
I enjoy reading TV guide listings on NFB Newsline.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
We are the nation's blind. We read NFB Newsline.
It's free.
Ms. Harrison, the next question will come from one of our younger members of the Federation here in Indiana, Ms. Jada DeBro. So Jada, do you have a question for Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Hi, Jada.
Hello, how are you?
I'm always interested in the young people because that's our future.
Yes, I believe that too. My question for you is, what is leadership to you, and how would you describe an effective leader?
Oh, wow. What is leadership? That is an excellent question. Because a lot of people want to be leaders, but they don't understand what the requirements are for a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Guidance, management, executing it is what's important. Creating and planning. An effective leader must have many, many qualities. One is courage. Mm-hmm. Another one is you have to be committed. It's a lot of time. It's time consuming. A lot of people want to be leaders, but they are not willing to put in the commitment and the time. You must have confidence, and you have to exhibit that confidence so that you can gain the respect of those who are following you. You have to have many traits, such as you have to have a vision. You have to lead by example. So many leaders, they want to instruct and tell others what to do, but they do not lead by example. That is extremely important. We must demonstrate integrity. We must be able to communicate effectively. Those are just some of the traits, the responsibilities, and the characteristics of a good leader. Thank you for that question.
No, thank you. That really answers my question.
Oh, great.
I tell you, this town hall meeting is so fulfilling, and I want to thank you once again, Ms. Harrison, for just all the great knowledge that you're sharing with us and our membership with the affiliate with the National Federation of the Blind of Indiana, and all of those that are listening across the country. I'm trusting that they are having the same revelation that I am having, and just being so thankful just for you, just for you. And so our next question comes from a longtime affiliate member. She has worn so many hats, and as you just described leadership, she exemplifies all of that. And that's Miss Tammy Hollingsworth. So Tammy, your question is now for you to ask.
Great. And thank you so much, Ms. Hairston, for your time and for listening. So we all have experiences in our lives, and they last a lifetime. Sometimes those experiences cause memories that last forever. Sometimes they teach us things that we would never, ever do again. So I have kind of a three-part question for you. What experience have you had in your life that you've experienced that was amazing and you would like to do again? What is an experience that you have had and would never repeat again, and why? And what is something that you wish that you could do in the future?
Okay, one of the things that I have experienced is whitewater rafting. It was, just exhilarating. I encourage all of you, take that risk, go whitewater rafting.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yes, it's great. Kayaking, all of those things I've done, and it was just awesome. One of the things that I've experienced that I will never, ever do again, and I advise against it, and that is using a telescope cane when you're traveling extensively. It is not as safe as a straight or a 7-fold cane. Actually, using a telescope cane, I fell down several steps years ago because the cane collapsed on me. I am fortunate that all I did was fractured my wrist because I put it up, my hand up over in front of my face as I was going down the steps to save me. I was very fortunate. My recommendation is use a straight cane or a 7-fold or another cane, and not a telescope cane when you have to travel extensively, because it is not as safe. So that's one thing. And the last question, repeat it again.
The last thing was, what is something that you have always wanted to experience and hope to in the future?
I hope to go to Africa.
Oh, awesome.
That is my dream. I have relatives who have a clinic there, And when they were there this summer, they contacted me and I promised them that in the next year or two, I would be joining them in Ghana at their clinic.
That sounds awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tammy.
NFB Newsline celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month.
Mi nombre es Enrique. Quiero hablarles de NFB Newsline. NFB Newsline es un servicio para gente no vidente o de poca visión que les permite leer periódicos y revistas. Para más información, llamen al 855-693-6476 o métanse en la página de web en nfbnewsline-in.org. NFB Newsline is a service for the print impaired to read newspapers and magazines. You can subscribe or get more information by calling 855-963-6476 or going to the webpage at nfbnewsline-in.org.
Read NFB Newsline.
It's free.
I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day,
One man's
right down
dream
in Georgia,
of racial
Mississippi,
equity and harmony. Unity, seeing people as people, created in the image of God, is central to the Christian message. Acts records, "From one man he made every nation of men." God did this so men would seek him. Celebrate the creation, celebrate the vision, and celebrate each other as God celebrates you.
with this faith, I will go out with you and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. With this faith, we will be able to achieve this new day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing with the Negroes in the spiritual of all, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. We are free at last.
Tune in next week for part 2 of the National Federation of the Blind's virtual town meeting.
So until next time, may God continue to bless you and keep you. And you make sure that you keep others as well. See you next week.
The National Federation of the Blind, Newsline, Indiana. For more information, go to nfb-in.org or call 855-963-6476. That's 855-963-6476. The National Federation of the Blind encourages you to live the life you want.